Thank you. What a privilege it is to be here this morning, yeah, it is still morning. I was here as a teacher representative with Student of the Month almost 20 years ago, I think, when the program was first getting underway. What an exciting thing to see it grow to what it's become. And it's nice to see that it hasn't changed either. There's still lots of tears that are flowing, which is awesome. But what a wonderful thing it is to hear the stories of each student here this morning, and what a blessing that is to all of us. And I do want to thank Sally as well. She's been a good friend for years, and what it is, how exciting it is for you to see this grow into what it's become. Very cool. I want to introduce Luke Armago to you this morning, our Student of the Month from Rancho Christian. Luke is a special young man. Being in a school that's a K through 12 environment, I had the privilege of actually get to know him at first when he was in 6th grade. So that's been really a fun journey for me to see him grow up into the young man he is today. But he's marked in his life by being a servant to all. He's an amazing young man. Every time there's a need on our campus, Luke is always the first one to pitch in and step forward and lend a hand. And anytime there's a new student that walks onto our campus, Luke is the first one to go and greet them and care for them and make sure they know where to go. And that's just the kind of heart that he has. And so we're very excited that he's here this morning.
Wow, this is a humbling experience. Got like a Mr. President over here, and maybe future Eric Clapton, future cure for cancer guy. But I want to thank you all for this opportunity, especially our sponsors, and give me for being a little stuttery. I'll do my best. Yeah, I feel overwhelmed in a sense just because it was last Wednesday. I just found out I was nominated for Student of the Month, and I was like, what? But in a serious note, I'd like to thank my mentors. I'd like to thank my mentors, Mr. Ray, Newham's 6th grade, Mrs. Gorham. She's helped with creative writing, my writing AP, all that jazz, and it's really been a blessing. And I'd like to thank the sponsors again and God. You all deserve much more than these words, and thank you very much. I was asked what I believe is the greatest contribution to society would be. And the greatest thing I believe to society would be this belief. But it follows the belief of two people I've met in my life. My church and I went to a mission trip in a Navajo reservation. We met this kid named Ramon Yazzie. He was selling pottery by a canyon that was in the reservation. I was hungry and eager to go back to HQ, but then we started listening to the story. He took care of his siblings and even his mother at the age of 13. And in the Navajo reservation, you're allowed to drive at age 13, and he already knew how to drive. It's the craziest thing. I mean, this kid was one of the most mature people I ever met. I can't describe him as much as I'd like to, but he's an astounding person. And then there's my grandpa. He grew up just as working hard like Yazzie, working for his family in the rice fields and whatnot. Before he even came to America, he knew of hard work. But during the early 1940s, World War II, the Imperial Japanese invaded the Philippines and killed many of his loved ones. But my grandfather survived this war and the trauma, and now he's the Filipino Father Abraham. With tons of children and offspring, his goal is now to live to 100, and I will not be surprised if he lives to 101. But my goal, or my belief that would help everybody, is to be like them and to help people like them. And I have steps to these goals, like my dream is to become educated and help tell stories that need telling. I believe God is calling me locally, maybe UC or maybe Illinois for Regent University. But one of my dreams in the future is to go to Oxford and study English. But as of now, I believe he's wanting me to study communications to tell stories. But my plan is to study communications to further my grandfather's and my friend's Yazzie's belief. It's not about the word I, and it's about looking to the future. In the words of Emerson, genius looks to the future. And if you know me, and I hope you do now, I hope that everything I've done in my life, being a brother to a friend, to janitor to ASB president, helps me reach Ramon's and my grandfather's aptitude. Thank you all, and praise God.
Well, I agree with many of the teachers that have come up here. 45 seconds isn't enough time to talk about this young man who has made such a difference for me as a teacher. He's one of those students who makes you want to get up and go to work and teach, not just because he's a good student and dedicated, because he is. but because he pushes me to be a better teacher and a more dedicated teacher. And I find that amazing. He's an incredible writer. He's an incredible friend. Mr. Ray stole a little bit of my story in that he is a servant. Something that I am eternally amazed by in a young person, because the majority of students, especially seniors, perhaps want to take it easy. Perhaps it's a kickback year. And Luke doesn't kick back, and he doesn't take it easy. He pushes harder. And not only does he push harder for himself, he pushes harder for everybody around him. One particular story that I'm thinking about Luke, in his desire to serve, he does look for the new students. And this year we have some students from out of the country. And at orientation, I saw him immediately drawn to them, talking with them, and within 5 minutes he was sharing his faith with them. And I just was overwhelmed by this young man. And I'm just proud to know you, Luke.
Our family, thank you. My husband cannot be here. He needs to help save lives. So, sorry, Luke. We are very grateful. It's working. Chamber of Commerce and all their donors. I have one student of the month, student of the year is in UC right now. And this is about Luke right now. My son lives a life of truth. You can tell if the child is true if he lives it at home, and he does. He lives a life of integrity, and he's hardworking, kind, and want to do good in life. We know that whatever career path he chooses, Luke will be of service to our society and country, and he will make you proud. Luke, we are proud of you. Dad is very proud, especially grandparents. We are very proud of you. And God bless you all. This is really a great project, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you.